spotlight's on you. You're giving the most important speech of your life. Doesn't matter the topic, but you choke. That is why you're here at Toastmasters. That is why you should stay with us at Toastmasters. If you're here for any other reason, you should leave. And I'm adamant on that. As a VP of Education, I'm in charge of making sure that everyone here knows what they're supposed to do, that they get some kind of lesson out of every day, and that all the speakers are present and we have all the roles filled. Aristotle once said, education of the mind without education of the heart is no education at all. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. If you don't know in your heart that where you're at in life is where you need to be, you need to reassess where you're at in life. If there's anybody here at this point, after going through y'all's challenge week, that thinks that they're not supposed to be here, you know in your mind, maybe I shouldn't be here, but your heart, it feels that you should stay here. Otherwise, by now you've had the chance to leave this place. And I hope you make a decision to stay here. So I'm going to talk about three things. The standards being the club. Secondly, why you should stay here. And thirdly, some lessons that I learned from being in this club. So first, the standards. Give some speeches, guys, and volunteer enrolls. This right here is the most character-building thing you can do in this club. Standing up in front of your peers and giving a speech. And I cannot harp on that enough. It's also the most thrilling thing, too, because I love talking to people. When I was in y'all's shoes, where I gave my first speech, it was my icebreaker speech, I called it Finally. I was so afraid of giving a speech that I waited until second semester of my knob year to give my first speech. That's a long time to wait, and I really recommend you could do it sooner than later. And I'm sure you guys have a lot of things to say. You're knobs. You guys have things you want to talk about. You can't talk about it in the barracks. But here you can talk about it. We're all peers here. We're here to help you become better speakers. Again, fill roles. You have to fill 3 roles before you can give your first speech. Grammarian, Oz counter, timer. Those are 3 really easy roles to fill. And then when you're giving evaluation, or when you're a member of the audience, pay close attention to what they're saying. This club to me is a lot. I've been here for 4 years. Toastmaster Martinez, this is your 4th year, correct? Yep. And yours is your 3rd year. You have mentors in this program. They care a lot about your success. Come up to us and ask us about it, because we care about improving you. The second part is why you should stay here, and probably why I've stayed here too. Because I know Toastmaster McCloskey and Toastmaster Martinez are my peers, they're my friends, they're people I can count on outside of the club. We're not only part of Toastmasters, we're also part of a club called the Citadel Ethics Bowl Team. And the things we learned here, we use in that club a lot. So when you're standing up giving a speech in front of your peers, that's something that can really value in life, like things that you can use a lot. Because nowadays there's a lot of people that can't give a public speech. We're all too ingrained in our cell phones to be social. That's something that I want to change. Thirdly, some lessons that I learned from being in Toastmasters. The first one is, don't plan your speech 10 minutes before you give it. Especially important today, because this was probably a last-minute plan, and you have an entire week to know that you're going to plan a speech. The second thing, which also pertains to that, is make sure you have a running list of speeches you want to give. Because you'll come up in the middle of class like, oh gosh, I could give a speech on this topic. But if you don't write it down, you won't remember it. And I'll say it again, make sure you're paying attention to your speakers. Because you don't know when they have some advice that could really help you in your life. So, Socrates once said, if you want to find yourself, think for yourself. And that's exactly what I'm trying to drive you to do. because the quality of speakers in this club needs to be outstanding. We need to win competitions. We need to seek out jobs. We need to make sure that we are improving ourselves here. If you're here to show up and that's it and leave, please don't come back. And I mean that with a really sad heart, but seriously. We really want prime speakers that are ready to go out in the workforce, into our armed services, lead soldiers, lead in businesses, men and women who are ready to stand in front of a group and influence them to do something. And I hope that this speech has given you that motivation. Thank you.